Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. It looks like it's working. Test, test. Can you guys say something?
Something.
Howdy.
No.
Can you guys hear the cast? Can you hear the crew? Can you hear the PCs? I'm hoping yes, because something may have gotten screwed up beforehand, so I just wanted to be sure.
Noise.
That's not, yeah, that is not making noise, Doxy. That is correct. Yes, woohoo! All right. Man, lots of emotes went out to everybody. Hey guys, thank you so much for the hype train. That was a crazy awesome participation there from everybody. Oclo, Vinsexel, Celsier, Big, the name is, I always throws me off because how long it is. Big Bad Dragon Daddy 666, and Vinsexel. I think I got everybody. I hope I did. If I didn't, you know, I guess you weren't that important. So, hi guys. It's been a few weeks. I miss you.
Likewise.
Oh, I mean, we got together last week. Did no one tell you?
And the week before, really.
Yeah, we just had a party.
We ordered pizza and tacos for Taco Tuesday.
Oh God, please don't
Thursday.
say the word pizza right now.
Oh man, I could totally go for pizza. Right? I'm hungry. I just had dinner not that long ago, but I'm already like hungry.
I had so much pizza today.
I had chicken and
Thank you.
vegetables.
Do we want to order pizza? Just one for the group.
Stop. You
For the
guys
group,
are
right?
just
I unfortunately
Sorry,
I can't because tomorrow night's pizza night, and when
No, totally fair.
yeah,
I mean,
already had
today
pizza once this week.
today is Taco Thursday, which, you know, as we all know, tacos, not sandwiches.
Tacos or sandwiches. I will die on this hill. I will.
You
I
know,
will
I'm
do
not gonna
it.
argue with you on it. It'd be funny if I showed up to a taco night with like a pita. I'd be like, what?
It's a gringo taco. What do you mean?
It's a Greek taco, okay?
I
Anyways.
just realized that I haven't tweeted out yet. I'm gonna do that. So let me mute for clicky clacks. I'll be right.
I always tweet. I'm so good at the tweeting.
I'm just gonna retweet your tweet, Doxy, and call it a night.
Hey, look at that! I tweeted Doxy's tweet.
There
Yeah.
you go. But also, I don't have followers, so it's, you know.
I follow you.
Yeah, that's sorry. I don't have followers who aren't already on the show.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, hey, look, they're live. All right, cool.
Yeah, look at that. Neat.
Hi everybody, how we doing? Now we haven't played in 2 sessions, which is 20, 21 days, whatever math comes out to. It's always hard to like hop back in the saddle after like a long period of time of not playing. It's also difficult when you were in such an intense moment prior to like the hiatus. So I suppose we need to kind of bring the scene back in. Josh, you want to do that? You want to get us back in the saddle, Josh?
I am not the one that's proficient in right. Actually, I am. All right.
It was actually a segue to your hair.
No, they have to earn that. They have to earn that. You know?
Okay. Fortune's favor for Josh's hair. That's what he's saying. Josh is saying fortune's favor for his hair.
So yes, we leveled up, right? That's cool. That's awesome.
Did you level up?
I mean, you told us to.
Did you
Yeah.
really? Honestly, it was 20
Not
days ago.
last.
I don't
Not
remember.
last.
No.
That was a
no.
while. That was
just.
Oh, I was so upset. I was just like, I didn't level up.
I was like, when did this happen?
Like it was totally plausible. It was fucking 3 weeks ago. Do you know how long that is in quarantine weeks? That's
true.
so many
That's-
weeks.
That's 2.5 years in quarantine.
That's
weeks.
a lot of
It's a long time.
It's a long time.
That's like 3 Tiger Kings. I mean,
Okay, I
That's
haven't
more
watched
than
that.
3 Tiger Kings.
Okay, so I didn't watch Tiger King because I have standards, but I did watch Legal Eagle's like analysis of Tiger King, his 2 different analyses of it, and I was like, yeah, this is good. This is good stuff.
Tiger King is a ride. It's a ride.
I honestly thought it was fake until I watched it.
Did I tell you guys that I met that guy? I met Joe Exotic.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, like you know how he did those Cub tours?
Yeah.
I fucking went to one.
Oh.
He came to my city to the Sycamore Mall, and I definitely held a fucking baby tiger.
That's cool.
So everyone watched Tiger
Yeah.
King, and in one of the shots, you might see young Doxy.
No, they didn't have any footage of him being at malls.
Yeah.
They showed a couple of him on stage, but it was like glimpses. I don't think it was like because
That
they
also-
showed him like
He
in
didn't
his
have
outfit.
stages at malls. He had like
Oh,
little cages
okay.
set up in malls.
Yeah.
They did
I've
go
been
in
to Big Cat
Colorado
Rescue.
for one of them, but yeah. Oof. Anyways.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens! Thanks in advance for those Fortune's favors.
Oh, that is a good way to get trump carded.
Oh, Doxy, maybe we want coffee. I'm gonna try it and let's see if it works.
Coffee.
Oh.
I'll try it too.
Oh, hold on. Let me. Oh,
Could you
wait.
please make me a pot of coffee? Question mark. I would
Hey, spit in
be
it. Spit in it. Oh, we're on headphones.
super grateful and so super grateful. Question mark, exclamation point. I don't know why I had a question mark in there, but you know. Let's
Does
see if
that
it
work?
works. If you say
You
question
saying
mark,
question mark?
Yeah.
absolutely, I do that all the time.
I
Watch.
didn't know that worked.
I'll say it right now. Hold on.
A lot of the people I know who do
Don't dox yourself on accident.
voice to who do voice to text just don't use any punctuation because they don't know how that works. And
Joshua is a piece of shit! Exclamation point.
Not nice. Hey, I do not.
If you're
think
in
so.
our Discord, you can go to our Thronekeeper spoilers. And if you're not, you should totally join the Discord. Here's the link in chat right there. Yeah, click that link and you can join.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When I
Point
used to
in
talk to
Apple.
text all the time. No,
Point for Apple.
Android too.
I've never tried that.
Oh, I used to. Granted, the last Android I had was a LG. So maybe it's just an LG thing. I don't know.
I see you, Aklo. I saw that.
All right. Well, Josh, Aklo paid.
All right.
it's beautiful. It's
Doxy,
so beautiful.
Doxy, do you want to ride Josh's head? He's gonna live closer soon.
Oh man, it's gonna be too cold.
It's gonna be awesome. Josh, it's
Man.
gonna be awesome.
We're talking about negative digits, you know? I mean, it's gonna be so cold.
I saw my parents today, and I literally told them, I was like, oh, so somebody I know, like from the community or whatever, like somebody I know is actually moving up to the Boston area. I was super excited for them because they move up in the summertime so they can kind of enjoy it. Like my mom was like, oh, that'll be great for them. I was like, I know, but I hope it's a real winter this year.
My wife joked about that too. She was like, so you're gonna get some shovels. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that.
Don't worry, it'll be a gift. You'll receive shovel gift. I will buy you shovels, Josh. And they won't be shitty ones. Like I'll actually legit. You're like, yeah, I'll buy you shovels. Don't worry, it's all
How can
good.
you have a shitty shovel? I don't get it. Like,
It's all good. I'll make sure you're hooked up. Don't worry.
are
The
they
ice melt,
different
that's
though?
all
Because
you
I
got.
have like spades and I
No,
have
you
the
need a
flat
different
bottoms.
shovel. Yeah, no, you need a different shovel.
Oh, all
You
right.
said, wait. You
He has
talking
a
about metal
spade.
shovels?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not,
I-
that's not what you need. You need a
Yeah,
plastic.
I have the only time I ever saw snow is back in 2003 during training.
If you need reviews sent to you for appropriate shovels, let me know.
But I
got a
have to
list.
translate them from Canadian to English. Like
He needs freedom shovels. He needs freedom shovels.
That is easy to do. Most of them are American shovels. Most of them are American made because Canada, despite the fact that we make great materials, we don't actually sell the things that we make in Canada for the most part. We export all of them. So, you know, if you want Canadian shovel, you got to go to Russia. So
now I just imagine all Russians like with a maple leaf shovel. Like
they do exist over there. Yeah.
Is that why they're sweeter people now?
I'm not touching anything. I don't know what our exports do. I don't know what we put in them. I'm not saying there's weed in our exports, but there might be now that it's legal. So who knows?
Canada.
Now I want to buy a Canadian shovel. Be like, what are they? Why is this such a weighted handle? Like, oh, all right.
Yeah,
All
so you can
right.
get more behind it. No, there are good Canadian shovels, but also if you need an American one, I can give you reviews for American ones too.
I didn't know they had reviews for shovels. Like it
Josh,
works.
this is reviews for
Sweet
everything.
summer child.
There's already reviews for Doxy's OnlyFans, which, by the way, 6 out of 5 stars. Just saying.
I actually am already in the top 12% of all creators without having formally launched
There you go.
or posted any content.
Well, post
It's
something,
kinda
woman.
crazy. I'm trying to get a staging area set up, and it's been a really hard time. Please don't add to my stress. I don't owe anyone pictures of
Doxy,
my
I will
body.
send you a picture of me shirtless cuddling a cat, and you can post it on your OnlyFans and watch that tank. Let's that be the bottom 1%. So
Actually, honestly, if that's your background screening area, like if you print that onto a onto a wallpaper and use that as your staging area,
I
you
got
do
some
quite
pretty cool ones already. I kind of want to
That's
show
exciting.
you guys. I'll show you during the first break. I'll grab them.
all right, cool. There we go. All right. Anyways, so the game. We should.
oh yeah, we're playing Fantasy Age.
So we're having dinner with this lovely lady, Lady G.
I won't lie. I'm very excited about tomorrow night's session. So it's hard for me to give a shit about you guys. But since you just had this wonderful dinner with, Doxy, I'm kidding. Since you just had this, Doxy, I'm kidding.
Cry between chat and you right now. I'm gonna cry.
Doxy, I'm just.
Why
kidding.
does everybody hate me and want to see bad things happen to me?
Doxy,
Why?
I was like, she's just offended. You tried to talk to me the other day, and I was like, but I'm falling. I felt bad. I was really tired. I tried to talk. I tried.
All right, everyone. All right, everyone.
All right, chat.
All right, everyone.
Trump
Okay.
cards are against the DM this session.
Guess we're getting a sassy Chriselle in this episode. Let's go.
We're gonna rename Trump cards to spanking from Doxy, and you please. I mean,
Smite.
Doxy smite. Anyways, so yeah, Windborn. I generally want the PCs to succeed. These PCs, yes. Crim Chaos, I hear you on that one. Moving on. So you guys had this meal with a woman, and when you got there, it was literally one of those things where you could almost imagine it was one of those scenes in a movie where the characters are all grasping like the hilt of their weapon beneath the table. As conversation, oh, thank you for passing the tea. Would you like 1 lump of sugar or 2? You know, it was one of those like fun
Would you
moments.
like 1 lump of sugar or death? or swift,
Sorry, or
swift
2.
vengeance.
My mistake. Sorry, no. I always get that confused with the number 2.
I'm sorry. Go.
So you guys have the conversation with her, and things actually turned on its head because I think it was Josh that was like, "I'm gonna be straight with you," and then she was like, she was like, "Fine, let's get straight with one another." And then it was a combination of what Josh and Doxy said, though I know that Will was involved as well, but very much of the 1-2 punch of the two of you guys went at it, to top of my memory, that had her kind of like reel back for a second and actually be like, let's hear what they have to say. And then you kind of went at it, came in a side angle, and kind of turned her to be interested in what it is that you're offering. She agreed. The meal kind of came to a, if I remember correctly, the meal kind of came to a close with you guys all agreeing to...
We introduced ourselves. Yep.
Yeah, fully introduce yourselves, and you again agreed to move forward with her kind of taking over the estate. Like, I want to leave you this estate. I want you to help us. And obviously there's a limitation on what it is that she can do early on, but you're hoping to build something here. Not necessarily a base of operations for yourselves, but a fallback point or an anchor in the region that you can use to kind of, have successes from in the future, or within the future. So
Also, mad clout.
All right, to be fair, chat, it was Chrysalin that was like, I'm shooting it straight. Do you have anything that you want to tell us? She came clean, then we came clean. And then I was the one that threw in there and said, look, if you help us, I'll research how we can find your son. And that's I think it was that 2 combo. That
all I did was be shirtless and look pretty.
I mean, that worked. That worked.
It helped.
Like
Don't
that,
get me
though.
wrong.
She do like that.
She did like that. That helped soften her up, I
is it
think.
cold in here or
Oh,
a glass?
my wine. Oh.
Let her change bonkers.
It just keeps rolling on to and in the belly button. Did you get that for me?
Oh,
So did I ever tell you I was good? I was good with a spear.
Ugh.
Body shots. Oh, with a spear. Ew.
oh, Nucky.
Can you go the other way around and come back from the bathroom? Knew I could toss a spear.
Oh God, dude, you need to see a doctor. What are you? Oh.
Sorry.
I think call that leprosy. If you can remove it and throw it, you have leprosy.
Different spear. Different spear.
I'm just saying. You should see a doctor immediately.
I wasn't thinking that. Okay.
Doxy, do you remember that song from like the 90s? Detachable penis.
No.
You don't remember that
What?
song?
That's a
Oh my God.
song?
It's an awesome, it's like a legitimately good song too. It's like one of those like low kind of calm. And then I was there walking down the street and I saw it. And I tried to buy it from her for $1.50, but she haggled me for $10. Detachable penis. It's like such a good song. I'm like making up the words because I don't remember them, but it's
Yeah,
such a good song.
I got nothing, bud.
Google it.
Was it on like Bob and Tom or something?
I don't remember where it's from. I think an actual band released that as a track, and you have to look it up. It is a legitimately funny, good song.
I am looking it up.
Yep.
Hacker mode engaged.
She's in.
King Missile, detachable penis. I woke
Told
up
you.
this morning with a bad hangover and my penis was missing again. This happens all the time.
It's a great song. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, I have the YouTube video open in a tab. I will listen to it while I'm showing you my porn backgrounds later on.
Perfect. Wait, what?
For the porn time.
Okay. YouTube. Hopefully somebody's kind enough when this gets uploaded in 2023 to drop a pin right here. If not, you're welcome. Moving on. All right. So, the kind of from there we said beforehand you were going to offer to help find her son, and then the conversation kind of comes to a being friendly, like friendly banter with one another. I actually don't want to skip past this friendly banter. I think it's important because it gives an opportunity for, you guys to get to know each other a little bit more than Chrysalen, and you guys did, and her did before. So when it does kind of... I
think that she and Chrysalen are actually fond of each other. That they've actually taken a liking to one another, and I'd like to, if I may, I don't know if you like it, if when I ask if I can like roll an insight, but I would love for Chrysalen to be like searching for that, like feeling for that.
Sure. I will definitely keep an ear open for that one. Hold on 1 second.
I think his coffee just came.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or he was just told that he's not getting coffee. It's one of the two.
One or the other.
Yeah.
Oh, he's all serious. Look at him. He's all like serious. He's not like joking and laughing.
Yeah. I don't think he's getting his coffee.
He's not getting his coffee. Let me turn the sound on.
Did he mute on stream?
Yeah, he's muted. I double checked just to make sure because
that's good.
He did
Are
it
we
backwards one day. No, they can hear us. Hi guys.
Hey everybody. How's everyone doing?
Oh.
Sorry about that. Brittany couldn't find Ursula and Eric for Aurora.
Oh. Does she have little stuffed Ursulas and Erics?
Not stuffed, but like action
figures.
Toys of them.
Yeah. It was funny. I was actually God, sorry, tangent. I was actually playing a game with her the other day, and I was playing with King Triton, who, funny enough, was like half the size of Eric. And I was pretend threatening, like, you with a horrible Scottish accent, like, you'll take care of my daughter, or like I was just, I don't know, whatever. I was role playing the character, and I jabbed the character, and his head popped off onto his trident, and I was like, well.
Amazing.
That's like a crit fumble at the same time as a crit success for an attack roll.
So,
Like,
it gets better. Brittany was mowing the lawn at the time, so he just like stood up and showed it to her. She's like, "What the hell's the matter with you?" And I was like, "No, it was on accident." Like, anyways, moving on.
Definite trauma done.
Yeah, no, she's just for life, just never gonna trust you to be around the
I'm
boys
her
that she
dad.
brings home.
Like,
Yeah.
it's yeah, you know,
Yeah.
moving on. So, yeah, the you guys. So conversation kind of goes to that. What are speaking of? I'm so sorry, guys. Why are you out of bed? Okay. She would actually turn to Oscar, of course, like as conversation kind of like gets friendly for a little bit, and you guys have that little bit of like side chatter. She would eventually turn to Oscar and be like, "So, Oscar, I'm actually curious on what your story is. Why are you here?"
Well, because I was given a job to do.
That's a strategically vague answer.
Well, vagaries aside, I am a specialist in particular means, which... how familiar are you with Venators?
Not particularly. It's a branch of the military for the Amulta.
That's correct. Specifically, we deal with misusers of magic. Mages who would take too much power with it. My role is as one of those mage hunters. We believe the Arcane Congress is involved in aiding Paradel, which we've now confirmed. And so my role is to deal with that to some extent, and he'll kind of motion over to Laszlo, with his help.
yeah, that's why I'm here. That and Amulta has been generous with me.
So you were a member of the Congress yourself. I believe more or less has been said yesterday.
Yes, I was a member of the Congress for quite a long time.
Well, how the two of you come to be next to Chrysalin?
Well, part of our job here in Yovance, because obviously you've probably wondered why we're here in Yovance if we're trying to deal with mages in Paradel. Part of our role here is to figure out a way to properly hold the line for Yovance.
Too good for him.
Just too good for him.
Josh
way
just
too good
whispers,
for him.
"Too good for him."
Yeah. Yeah.
Love you. Look, it's even in a Brittany mug.
Aww.
This is all very precious, and I love it very much.
Yeah. So you may wonder why we're in Yovance in that case. As I said, we're here to essentially find a way for Yovance to hold the line. It's currently the easiest way into Amulta. It's a defense. So we're here to win favor in Yovance right now. Well, Chrysalin is here to win favor in Yovance. We're here in the meantime to protect her until we can make moves.
I've needed a fair bit of protecting so far.
That's not true. You've held your own.
So your plan here is to hold Yovance strong so that Amulta doesn't get attacked, correct?
Oscar just kind of wobbles and then looks over at Chrysalin for more of an answer at that.
I'm sorry.
But
Yes, that's what our job is. The queen. I mean, I'm assuming it wasn't her plan originally, but the queen gave us that edict.
What's your plan? Oh, sorry, God.
We Yvonne is not doing well, at least from what the outside looking in. Our job is to find out more, and I looked at Oscar, and then I gestured to Oscar and myself. Our job is to assist Chris Helen. Chris Helen, if you haven't noticed, has a silver tongue, and she is good at getting people to talk. Yes.
You're making me blush.
Well, she got me talking. Granted, I probably had my wheels greased recently by another, but nonetheless, you certainly got me talking a lot sooner than I expected I would find myself doing.
I will say that I believe that it is a benefit to us both, that I liked hearing what you had to say.
It's only a benefit to us both because you are not a conniving little cunt. You actually have, well, some jewel in your heart.
I am a conniving little cunt. I just also have a silver heart to match the tongue.
Well, what is your plan with Yovance? How do you intend to make them succeed?
So far, the best I have is a slave rebellion.
A slave rebellion?
Free the slaves, turn them into soldiers, let them fight for their freedom.
Wait, wouldn't that hurt Yovance by having slaves fight back against them?
No. There are so few in power, and if we were to move that power, the nation would grow stronger. It would heal.
But Yovance is no small nation. I mean, granted, at least from my perspective, it's much larger than the region that I controlled, even if I had a network that extended beyond the actual lands that we were in control of. But it's more than twice the size of a Malta, is it not?
My lady, how many of those in power bear only one slave?
Oh, no. I don't question that. But how quickly can word travel in coordinating and also building the courage and usually
Errands like these double the pace each time.
Well,
it's still
so
just a child of a thought.
Is your plan to have this be a thing that you try to have happen all over Yovance, or as like a territorial thing that grows?
It's undecided so far.
Oh, you're at the budding phases of your plan.
Consider us lesbian mothers of the orphan plan.
Takes her a moment to process that you're referring specifically to her. And she's like, oh.
Oscar still confused for a moment there and then clues in. Oh, all right, okay.
I was wondering, I mean, you seem to have a specialty, a knowledge when it comes to slave ownership and this land.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if there's a huge problem in this area with runaway slaves, or maybe an underground slave network or something of the like.
Is there a problem? I honestly, as I've said before, I wasn't the one that spent very much time here in Yovance. It was my daughter that had spent time here. And beyond that, it's been years since either of us were here. And beyond that, I've been a little removed from word that I would typically receive for a bit of time. However, I think I might be able to point you in the right direction. People that would be able to get you that answer, but not because they're for your cause, actually, very much because they're against it.
That's fine.
I have going with the idea of our enemy. I think that they have something that we could learn from the inclemente. I think it's called the something like that.
Inclame.
Inclame. Yes. I think if we were able to offer these runaway, this unchecked network, unchecked resource of runaway slaves or an underground network or something, give them a chance for them to come back, for them to earn place instead of earn death or earn a whip, to earn a place to become a citizen. I think we could strengthen their military that way and ease the burden.
You mean
of
reverse the
slavery
flow from Paradel back to Yovance?
Yes.
I don't even know how you would spread word amongst them. I'm sure there's got to be people that help with that underground track. Like I said, I know somebody that would be very interested in those kind of things existing, certainly with no rumors of them, but only because they'd be looking.
Well, I was thinking maybe you could start that.
Well, actually, well, if there's work smarter, not harder, right? If there is already a system in place, tapping into that system rather than trying to build one from scratch is generally the better idea, right? Work off of other people's successes rather than lay the groundwork.
Let's build on the ruins.
If there are ruins, but the person that I'm interested in getting you in connection with, they would, if the rumors were strong enough, be interested in hiring people to resolve that issue.
I looked at Chrysalin. Does that seem like the path we would be interested in taking?
It needs a lot more discussion. A lot.
Yes. No, I understand. I don't think that these people are going to give up their way of life very easily.
Oh,
I'm wondering
I don't believe that it will be easy at all. And I believe that that's why people as skilled as we are, we're tasked with making it so.
I just want to point out as a side note, Harleen, we will always gladly add more gay to our day. As a matter of fact, in this world, there's literally lesbian and gay leaders that are inside the lore. Now, granted, it is all locked behind on Patreon, but there are actually global leaders that are that happen to fall into that criterion because people are people. Moving on. So she would interject at this point and say, you would need to act or be under a guise to convince them that you're going to do this task for them, and obviously be using that just to find the network itself. Find the structure, what's already been put in place by others. And then, well, use this as our connection. Tie it in through here. As you just said, Laszlo, you're hoping that I can help with that. We're really close to the border. Really close. If we can find out where this, as you said, kind of underground network exists, and then we can work with them to align our causes, make a better trek. Okay, now we have where to put the people. Now, if we go back on the other side to Paradel, we have to find out where to take the people.
I think I'm under the wrong impression. Are you thinking I'm saying to grab, like, steal people from Paradel, bring them here?
I think that's what, not steal, but I think that's what you were saying by having people.
I was thinking more of like, if people are running, like they're trying to escape being slavery, instead of trying to punish them, to offer them a chance to not be punished, and like an avenue to not be a slave anymore. So like, fight for us, kind of make our own Clemé. inclame here.
Yeah. But so it is what she just pulling us out of game. Back to the question she had asked beforehand. Do you want this to be a regional thing to start, as opposed to a?
I mean, we have to start somewhere. I would think.
Has to start sometime. What better place than here? What better time than now? All hell can't stop us now.
So I mean, it's just the way Laszlo just said. The way I think about it is that these slaves are leaving. They're running. They're not being used anyways. And if their original owners or the people that the lady speaks about are talking about gets to them, they might be killed. If we can offer them a way that they could become soldiers, and we could train them to fight, we could strengthen the military.
Where are you going to get the resources for this? Do you have the weapons? Do you have those that are able to train?
All a matter of discussions with the right people.
So you want to find this underground network, if one exists, or at least rumors of it. I could help you find the person that would want to destroy them. And we can see where things go from there.
One step at a time.
I can work towards figuring out weapons and resources.
I've never known a general to turn down eager soldiers.
I've known a few. It depends on the soldiers. It depends on the cause. It depends on the resources available to
turn down
them.
Eager bodies, at the very least. Not all people in the military are soldiers, are they?
It's true.
Considering
That is true.
The country he comes from has 2-year mandatory service, so.
Well, and if we look at people like Ka,
Sorry, my pants are falling down.
Why'd you fix it?
sometimes
Because it was uncomfortable. Didn't like it.
booty stick to chair. Like, come on. Anyways, if we look at people like Ka, maybe we could give better soldiers and not people that are just fighting to not die, instead are fighting for a reason, fighting to live.
I'm fighting to live free.
I
Nobody ever
agree.
fought harder than those that are fighting to live free.
Once more with feeling.
I agree. I just think we need to do it one step at a time. The rebellion would be the very end of the road.
Well, let me see if I can scratch together this contact for you. Let me see if I can at least get the ball rolling.
The only thing is, milady, that we must depart, and soon. Us being here puts everyone in this manor in danger, and everyone in this town in danger.
Why is this?
I look
There's
at
a
Os
hunter.
or Laszlo.
I'm being hunted by the Arcane Congress.
Oh,
Specifically by
Shit.
someone that I can't kill yet. Yet. I need to learn more first. Understand the enemy, and you can win any battle. But I don't understand them yet. Not fully.
Is there anything I can help with you? I'm pretty good at research. I'm pretty good at reading and looking things up. If there's anything I can aid you with, I would like to.
Could have used your assistance a few months ago, but things seem fine enough now. I can figure out what I need to around this place. I did not visit it frequently, but frequent enough, and very often Nori needed a hand in remembering how to do his own job. He got better as he got older, but
I feel as though maybe he got sloppier. There were infiltrators.
that is unusual. The idea that he would help the Paradel.
You may not have been doing it by choice.
I didn't know the man, but it sounds an awful lot like perhaps senility had a hand to play in this infiltration.
Senility?
When the brain goes at an old age.
He's not that old. He's far younger than myself. He was set to marry my daughter.
I was thinking it was more finances, and I gestured towards the interior of the house, which is much less presentable than the outside.
He's a cheap fuck.
Oh.
He's got money.
I actually wouldn't have been surprised if it was coercion, but regardless, we're just speculating right now when in reality, we still have one more dock to check. And we need to find records. We need to understand exactly what was happening. That is where your research can help, Laszlo. Find those books.
About that, I'll pull out the first book and I'll open it to the pages that were ripped out. Looks like someone was already investigating him and stole some pages.
Shit.
Do you like slide it over to her?
Yeah.
She takes it, starts looking it over. Takes like maybe a minute or so reading it, flipping through the pages or whatever it is. And then she comes to the conclusion, well, it's definitely his notes, definitely his style of note keeping, his handwriting, all that, but I don't know what this is in reference to. Shipping something.
I don't know. The staff talked about... I'm sorry?
I think I will accompany Oscar to the final dock.
If you'd like.
Oh, if you're going to go, you said that you ran into an issue beforehand because of the worker there, right?
That's right.
Oh, hold on. And she'll actually get up and go into the other room, and like you can hear her go up the stairs, heading into the library.
It's her house now.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
She'll end up coming back down, and she brings with you just like a signet ring for the family, and she says, "Present this. They'll know it came from the house at the least."
Thank you.
Perfect.
And Oscar will kind of look at it and then hand it over to Chrisellen.
She'll put it on one of her skinny little fingers, and it will
Yeah.
fall right back off, and she will hand it right back to you.
All right. I
Yeah.
don't like having things on my hands while in case I have to fight, but fine.
That's why I'm there, so that you don't have to.
That's the hope. Oscar will kind of pause.
Oh,
and-
does that
and
mean
stand up?
that one day you guys are going to get married and he won't have to wear a wedding band because you're always with him anyways? Is that what
No.
you're saying, Toxie?
That is not what I'm saying. I think that
Aw,
Oscar and
Do we
Chrisellen
ship them?
would kill each other.
Oskellen?
They would murder each other.
Criskler? Is that what you guys
I
are?
think-
Criskler?
I think that they
Scar?
There is no good pet name with Oscar. I just want to. Oskellen is not
Oskellen
good.
is pretty good.
It's
pretty
better.
good.
It's still not good.
What
It
you
even sounds like a stone. It even sounds like
Yeah.
a mineral.
It does a
Oskellen.
little bit.
Or
They would
something that
kill
you
each other.
have, a doctor needs
Or
to give
like
you an
some
injection
sort of
for.
seafood.
Yeah.
Did you hear about Brad? Whew, he shouldn't have gone out that night. He got Oskellen.
Oh, wow. That sounds bad. All right.
Yeah.
I'll look to Lady G and say, I'm at your beck and call. What would you like me to do while they take care of the dock?
Shall we take our leave now? I thought we would do it tomorrow.
Tomorrow is.
All right. I thought he said this was next day.
No, this is that night, that conversation.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
still
okay,
sitting around
okay.
the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then it'd be tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow morning we can.
Besides, I think Oscar needs a nap. I mean, Laszlo.
No, I'm good. We slept the day before. Remember the funeral and all that stuff? I'll look to the door that's not there and be like, Oscar, do you need help?
I do still need to hang the door. Yeah. The door's finished. It's not perfect, but it's finished. I can do a bit more work on it tomorrow, but.
I wish he had make whole. So he's just like, there you go.
Yeah. I just need to do a little bit more sanding on it to get it to slide in just nice and clean, Right now it'll go in, but it'll just, it'll rub a little bit and you slowly wear down the frame.
Tell me
What
more.
give you a hand?
Pardon, sorry?
Quite fascinated by woodworking.
Sure. Yes. If you want to, we can do that this evening. I was going to say we probably need to prepare some outreach to our contact back in Malta. Just update them.
Okay.
Aye.
You guys will be heading into town, the ports. I'm pretty sure that the port is there, the dock.
Yes, but I mean that port goes across a lake.
No, I mean to have it mailed off. Right?
Oh, yeah. Well, yes, I assume so. I assume that there's a location for us to send from there. We sent a letter earlier. We could just go back to the location we sent it from earlier.
Yes.
Realistically, though, we also need to speak to our other contact.
Who are you talking about?
Well, you know.
I just realized what happened. I
Why
was
don't
like,
you
why are
take
you
a
guys
good long look in
waving?
the mirror and think about it?
Yes, precisely.
Laszlo?
Understood.
Yes.
Yes.
Not to speak in too many vagaries, but there are some secrets that we still have to keep.
For your own protection, milady.
Yes.
Of course.
Oh.
Now, the servants had already left. Who's going to help me wrap up the rest of these turnips and put them away?
You hear a finger
will.
snap under the table, and the dishes start lifting as the visible servant will start cleaning up.
Never mind, I will not. We have a door to attend to then.
We do. Yes. All right. I'm going to go sand a door.
I'm going to help.
Right. Sorry, Wade. I had to. Love you
Turnips
too,
are
buddy.
fucking delicious. Why would they not be eating turnips? Yum.
Anyways, so all right, cool. And you guys, obviously, you and her will probably more share a bottle of wine and watch the boys work on the door outside and occasionally make comments of, "Do you see the form that he uses to really get the proper stroke against that door?"
Boys, I'm the one sitting with her.
Yeah, I'm helping.
Yeah, Laszlo
I'm
is definitely the
hands-on,
one
bud.
having the wine.
There's a moment where she says that and looks over and sees Laszlo, think it's Crescellin, and she's like,
Yes, his form is rather well. It's nice.
He's just looking up at Crescellin, bent over the door. Yeah, lovely. It's very
Lovely
good.
form.
Exquisite.
exquisite. Anyways, so the next morning, obviously, you guys will get up. You have a few different things that you want to do. When you said we need to update our contact, were you referring to mirror, mirror in my hands?
So there are two things we need to do. One is I need to send a letter. I do actually genuinely need to send a letter, which is specifically to do some outreach and figure out in terms of sourcing resources. I'm just going to essentially put a message into one of the commanders that I know in the capital, ideally of Malta, just who would actually have some sway with that. I know we have a mission from the Queen, but it didn't specify what we were to do in the first place necessarily in terms of action. So recognizing that this is only a potential course of action, I want to see what kind of resources could be allocated towards this and essentially determine whether or not it's even something that's feasible to get these resources from a Malta. If it's not, then we need to find another source. So I just essentially want to do that initial outreach.
Perfect. To draft that letter, it's calligraphy, I think it is, for the check that you're going to do. Look at your little cheat sheet to get that up and running for you. And just to approach chat for 1 second before we continue on. For those of you that are just popping in with the raid from Wade, thank you everybody for the Wade raid. I hope you all enjoyed an awesome stream with Wade. Quick little thing about what's this is a D&D stream. We're technically playing, or I should say a tabletop role-playing stream. This is technically Fantasy Age. We actually are playing in this channel. There are 3 different campaigns currently that are all in the same world. Those 3 different campaigns are different systems, different stories, different casts of characters, different PCs, all that stuff, whatever. But they all impact each other directly, indirectly, so on and so forth. All that backlog of that can be found on YouTube. Anyways, and very, 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 very soon, there is very, 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 very likely going to be a 4th campaign, same world, different cast of characters, different story arc, all of them once again impacting each other. So if you like the idea of almost like a, not to pat myself on the back because I don't think it's that good of storytelling. But if you like the idea of like almost like a Game of Thrones style where it's like different perspectives.
MCU
that,
is what I would like.
or
it
MCU,
to.
sure, MCU, and there's crossovers here and there that might be happening sometime in the future.
So 4th campaign, Mutants and Masterminds.
Yeah,
There you go.
it's actually a legitimately cool system if you've never played it.
It is very cool.
I like the original D6 version. I looked at the other version. I never played it though. But anyways, cool. So, Oscar, you sent a letter. Obviously, ooh, I say calligraphy. I am so sorry because that is
Okay.
deck
Do I need
space.
to do it? Yeah, I need to do a communication one?
It'd probably be a communication-based one. I am so sorry, sir.
No. That's okay. That's no problem.
I mean, etiquette, maybe?
I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't have any communication proficiencies, so if you're looking for a communication-based one, I can just do a straight roll.
No. Etiquette is actually what makes the most sense.
It's still communication.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
So
then that's fine.
Communication umbrella.
Okay, then I will roll communication. It is a 3. So I am going to just look at that letter and then hand it to Chriselle and be like, is this too crass?
You rolled
That many words.
It's
that many words?
You rolled almost the worst that you could, and you got a penalty for it.
Yeah,
Oh
no.
my God.
I rolled 1 above my minimum.
Send me stuff. I need gear.
Oscar, darling. This is technically a slur in that part of the world, and this insinuates that you'd like to sleep with his grandmother. Why don't you
Well,
just
she is
let
nice
me
lady.
have a try at this?
Okay, sure. Here's what I'm trying to convey. I need equipment. We
I can
need to
roll
determine if we need resources.
A flat communication or a persuasion or a bargaining?
First you need to identify that he did a bad job.
Sure.
Which because he wouldn't necessarily be able to identify it. I almost want to say it's a meta decision to even bring it to you first when it's going to his queen. However, he knows that the queen spoke to the 3 of you, not just to him. So I'm
would
not
that be
gonna.
Empathy roll then?
I would say it's empathy for you to read it, and it's not going to be a very high DC.
Scott, just so
Look, you
you know
succeed.
as well, before I had even, no matter what I had rolled, I was going to bring it to Chris Ellen. I want you to know
No,
that.
I get that, which is why I'm
Yeah.
I'm
The DC
okay.
was 3.
The DC
Alright,
was
so-
3, weirdly enough.
All right,
This is
Doxy,
the worst roll I've ever made.
you probably want to rewrite it for him, and maybe write it for him in the future.
Communication, persuasion, or bargaining?
It's actually etiquette.
Okay, so just flat communication.
Okay,
then.
sorry, I wasn't sure if you had that focus. And did you want to modify that with a luck die?
No.
Really?
I think so. If we're gonna arm a militia,
This is
we want
pretty
as
big
much as we can
request.
get.
Okay. It's silly, but
That-
okay.
Spend it. Oh.
and that's why we check. Now we know we have no luck dice.
This is when everybody looks at chat and bats their eyes slowly.
No, hold on. I got this.
Oscar, whew, is it the coffee in here or?
Oh, the door isn't leveled yet.
Hold on,
Hmm.
let me just quickly. Hey, nobody want to see me shirtless right now. Gross.
We want to see Tyler shirtless. So Tyler, if you could pop into the call real
Yeah,
quick.
hold on, Tyler, come on. in here.
Yeah, Tyler, help us out real quick.
Those arms, though, you guys.
Right? You see
Little
these
bit.
babies? Oh,
Yeah,
Tyler.
Scott's arms. That's
Yeah.
what we're talking about.
Wait, did you watch his charity stream? Doxy, did you watch his charity stream?
Oh, I caught some push-ups, bud.
Okay, well, should I send you the pictures that he sent me prior to the charity stream? I'm just saying.
I don't know them.
There were some spicy photos. So I don't think he's in chat anymore, so it's not as fun to talk about. Now it just sounds
Yeah, now we're just being
Now we're just being
accurately
real
sexual.
creepy.
Just a little creepy.
No,
Yeah.
this is on point. This is the real feelings. Moving on. So you my apologies. Yeah, so you send the Doxy, you write the letter, draft it up. Oscar, you look it over again and you're like,
It's much better. Yeah. No, that's All right. So I'm not writing things in the future unless I'm being dictated to. I think that's probably safe to say at this point. I can write real clean, as you could see from that letter. The writing was clean enough. Passable.
Oscar, maybe don't reference the letter in any positive ways.
Look, all I'm saying, I can physically write. I don't know what to write.
Okay, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, I feel like an ass. Anyways, I'm gonna go.
Really, I enjoy this kind of work.
I am glad you enjoy this kind of work because I do not. So we should get that mailed, but we also need to speak to our friend.
The thing is, what point is there in speaking with him? He cannot deliver messages for us.
No, he can't.
We have no real advice to seek from him.
Well, that depends, I suppose.
Do change my mind.
The only thing I'm seeking for advice from him on is specifically our encounter with the hunter. Whether or not he knows of anyone who's encountered one before, who I could reach out to and get some advice from more directly. It's just, I can't send a message like that back to a Malta and expect, 6 weeks before I get a response. And even then, it may just be a no. If he knows offhand of anyone who may have encountered someone with Josen's skill set, then I should try and find them and learn what they know.
And don't forget, we also got names originally from him. Or Rar Ramnami might be useful. Because she's a commander in charge of the military. Yeah. As well as Damon Socuse. It's a former slave. I would think if anyone knows what former slaves or slaves running for their lives would have in their mind, it would be a former slave. I'm so funny.
No, I'm trying really hard to keep my cool, but Snaga was just like, Oscar drew a dick in the letter. I just keep imagining him coming to Grisellen with it. I mean, like,
it's just a dick book.
Oh, sweetie.
She's like, is there a wet spot? Oh, I spilled my tea.
I just can't stop picturing it. Giving me the gigs. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So realistically, there is some value in it. I mean, I need one question. And I know we don't want to necessarily burn through too much time, but it would help me a lot to at least have direction on finding information.
Oscar.
Yes.
We have plenty of time.
Yes, we do.
I know I spoke about the mirror waning its powers, but when I speak like that, I sometimes come off as from a purely academic point of view. In the grand scheme of things, we'll probably be dead before that thing's out of power.
Well,
that all depends on how much we use it, doesn't it?
It's also, not comforting,
true.
Weirdly enough. But it is one question. But we're closer to a Malta now than we are at any point. And if I need to send a letter to somebody to get them out here, we're in our best position to do it now rather than later.
I'm fine with it. There's something I also wanted to talk to you guys about. And I'll pull out this wizard's tome that we found hidden. And I'll put it on the desk and go, these things can go for quite a lot of money.
Oscar picks it up and just takes a look. I'm assuming that Oscar will have seen Wizard's Tomes before.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, why don't you roll knowledge the magical
Arcane lore?
Arcane lore. Thank you. Sorry, it's been a few weeks. Ooh! You rolled well. Actually, you can see that this is a tome that you would put into the category of adroit, I believe, tier mage. So nobody that's like, oh my god, crazy, but definitely no neophytes either. Somebody that actually knew their way around the spell or two.
Droid.
Yes.
I mean, it's a
It's
smattering
not-
of spells, so it's not like it's a focused school. It's just a generalist.
Yeah. It's no one particularly special, but for a person that doesn't have access to a school, a university, or a master, these spells are very valuable.
Are there any in here that are particularly violent spells?
So with that check that you have there, kind of flipping through it, this actually wouldn't be a question that would be answered in 30-second skim through. Probably spend a few minutes flipping through it, so I can answer that after you guys converse for a bit.
Yeah,
But-
sounds good.
Yeah, because I imagine you're going to be
Absolutely.
reading it as you're talking. Go ahead.
Absolutely, yeah. You're right, it could be a valuable resource.
The reason I bring it up is we could sell it and make money for ourselves. We could sell it or give it to the lady. It is part of this property. We did find it here. And she could use it as startup capital because I don't know how they're making money here.
The fishing. It's the
Fishing.
fishing. They have lots of money. However, I do think that we should discuss it with her before we sell it for ourselves, even though we are very lacking in coin.
Laszlo,
Yes.
what are your thoughts on using it as training material?
No.
Fair enough.
I tend
Those
to
are-
agree.
Those are spells I gave up a long time ago. There's nothing in there I didn't already know.
Fair enough.
The only thing that gives me pause is that should we sell it, we have no idea whose hands it will wind up in.
There's nothing in that book particularly special at that level. Those spells are very common, every single one of them. There may be some in there that are less likely to be used by most, but there's nothing in there that would be of a significant worry.
Based on my read through, is that correct, Scott?
So as you're looking over it, you can see that there are some basic defense spells, like spells that you would use for fending off like a threat, but nothing that's overtly powerful. You know what I mean? More like cantrip level or first level kind of attack, but nothing powerful.
It's a droid, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know.
Well,
I know,
Droid
but
Magic goes up to 4th level spells. Like that,
Yeah, but
that
that's
could
fourth
be-
level. When you start talking about like,
Fireball
oh, this is
scary.
devastating.
Fireball
Fireball-
can blow up an entire
Fireball
building.
is exactly what I was asking whether Fireball is in there or not, basically.
No. The
Okay, then,
highest level
yeah.
attack spell is going to be like a first level. This is more for, clearly this is meant for somebody who is probably more for sitting inside of a library or,
More of a
sorry, like
researcher.
an office. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I agree. From my read through here, there's nothing that's particularly a threat to us by selling, no matter whose hands it lands in. There's things that are very useful from a utilitarian standpoint and from a basic defense standpoint, but nothing that is going to outright get people killed. Not on its own, anyways.
Okay.
It would fetch some coin.
He'll hand the book back to you, Laszlo, and just say,
And coin we sorely need.
"We do."
We should speak to the lady first because
Yes,
even
we should.
though I could stop her from having all this, I don't want to.
I know.
So this is rightfully hers.
I don't really have any concern about that personally.
Yes.
Technically,
I
I think
agree.
it's rightfully her, just to remember, rightfully her
Mhm.
daughters, but
Yeah.
either way, or sorry, sons. Her sons, she said, didn't
Sons.
she? Yeah.
Yeah, but we
Yeah.
are.
I mean,
Our rightfully, not his
Yeah.
rightfully.
Yeah.
You just
Dory
changed,
didn't know what he was saying.
you just
he was
changed the
senile,
first
Roman.
name, changed the first name, and then you add an S before all the he's, you know?
We drew up fake documents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good too.
Really good one too.
Really good.
We're just gonna burn the original documents and present the ones that we came up with.
She couldn't see through those documents. She just already knew the truth. It was
Yeah.
one of those like, huh? Like I got a 19 and failed. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Got that Doxy touched me and gave me luck.
Yeah.
I experienced that once. Do you know what happened when Doxy touched me? I fell asleep.
On her bed. Yeah.
Very
you
quick.
say that. You say that every stream. You're gonna
No.
bring it up.
But I never get to sleep.
It's true.
All right, that's fair.
That
Actually,
was-
that's fair. I've known
it
you
was
for
look, it was a landmark event. He slept for days.
There were
He
photos.
wasn't
People
at
came
the
by
show-
him and they were like,
Yeah, no. He didn't go to the convention. You don't understand. He was in that bed the whole time.
Yeah, my body double was on point too.
Yeah,
Equally
no, very
obnoxious. Yeah, equally obnoxious. You know, great. Beard could have been a little
a little
better,
taller.
The
a little
beard
taller.
did go kind of scraggly at one point, and that was a little odd. Not really sure what happened there.
but- Yeah,
But,
yeah.
it's like he got shocked by electricity.
So I will report to my lady in the morning to see what she wants me to do.
Oh yeah, we should have that conversation.
The two of you are going to do a little bit of research over the paperwork, what it is. Like she said, clearly transporting something.
Yeah,
so
we
on and
found
so
4
forth.
books.
Yes.
Found the 4 books.
So we don't need to get nitty gritty with this kind of a thing. You can actually just simply make a check. However, she's going to be assisting you on the check. She knows this library through and very well. So you're going to get a flat +3. No question. You easily get a +3 on this one. You anything
research.
Yes, there's going to be research. Is there anything else that you wanted to do or anything else that you needed to like tap into or whatever before you go or?
Them or me?
You. Anything that you want to do before you?
I would also like to work on that wand, the forked wand that I started. I have 4 successes towards better understanding it.
No. I meant like the because each one of those rolls for success are going to take like a little bit of time. Which you
Oh,
could
then
definitely
no,
do,
I'm fine.
right?
I'm fine.
I meant for the research.
No,
Okay, then go ahead. Sorry.
I just want to help her.
Okay, sorry. Well, you're leading. Ooh. Don't forget the +3, so it's actually a 19. Do you want to try to modify that 19 to make sure that you guarantee success by rolling a luck die?
No, I think 19's pretty darn good.
Okay.
I don't want.
Only under exceptional circumstances would a 19 not succeed. Like where someone has a 21 and you need to match it.
God damn it. Josh, with your 4 stunt points, doing, I suppose, exploration would technically be. Oh, God damn, you don't just remember, Josh? I'm so sorry. I did that stream like 2 months ago. Come up with ideas specifically for things like research for you for using stunt points. And we never actually did anything with it. We should probably, maybe between seasons 1 and 2, we can have like a non-session live like session, I guess, where what we can do is during that we can actually implement those rules with the cast. That might be a good time to actually take all the viewers' awesome ideas and solidify them in the rules. But either way, for now, what would you want to use your 4 stunt points on?
I actually want to use it for, where is it? Resources at hand to choose a focus I don't have.
Sure.
And I would like to use it to get what is it called? Cryptography.
Cryptography. There we go.
To try to decipher ciphers and codes.
Sure. So that allows you anything else you can do with that, or is that just because that costs you 3 points?
That's
to do?
4. That's 4.
That is 4 points.
That's
Gotcha.
still 4.
Cool. So you do that. You get better at the whole idea. The two of you are kind of working on it. It's one of those things where pretty early on you realize, oh, he's got a cute little code going on here. She already knew it to a degree. She knew his not code, but his like sloppy shorthands. And then she shows you the sloppy shorthands, you're able to realize that he has it in a very weak code. A very, I mean, you're a mage. Mages, you're 250 years old. You very much have learned to encrypt your own spells a long time ago. This is, God, you probably would have thought this was a strong code in like your earliest years of schooling 200 years ago. You know what I mean? So you crack it easily and are able to realize he is in fact shipping things. As a matter of fact, what he's specifically doing is he's importing things through those ships that come from the docks. He's definitely importing goods from there and then using those goods to export down in the region here. He exports from here through 3 different avenues. One avenue is they are taken away when purchases of slaves, of very specific slaves, are purchased. He will give them away as part of the transaction with the slaves, almost like but wait, there's more. But, it's almost like
Gross.
like a type of
Really, Maze?
Yeah.
No.
Allegedly. So.
Oh, that's so upsetting. I'm sorry.
So he now I'm just thinking of epic rap battles of history. So yeah, that's one of the ways that he kind of gives them away. One of the second ways that he gives them away is he actually has again, he has his hands in other business ventures here as well. And one of his joint ventures that he has here, he actually sells the goods there, but again, only to like a very select group of people that are able to come in and purchase. If you've ever heard of like almost like a mug club that some bars or taverns will have, there's a very select group of people that are allowed to purchase the extra goods that they sell here. Because again, you have to remember you're in Yovance. Yovance is very much, are you of this echelon, this one, or this one, to what you kind of have access to. So that's one of the second ventures. And the third one, it doesn't show that he gives them away, sells them, or anything like that. Just simply they are noted as being put in that venture. And you don't know exactly where that is. That one is just kind of off the books.
Okay.
It doesn't even show them as being transported anywhere.
And there's no word on the Peridot soldiers that were in the house.
He has in his, again, coded shorthand, he calls them the crew. He legit calls them the crew. That's it.
Okay.
Just the crew. But it's one of those things when you're reading through it and saying 3 of the crew are staying at the house for now, so on and so forth. 7 of the crew went on the thing. It's like, oh, we got a whole new swap of crew this time. A different score of men are involved in the ventures for the next few months.
All right, so it's clear that they're importing from Peridot, which we knew, but it's clear. Okay, cool. I'm assuming that takes a while.
Yeah, that takes you the better part of the day for you kind of get this done. Oscar very clumsily and slowly writes his letter over the course of several hours himself before he finally brings a sloppily drawn dick pic to Chrysella, who's just kind of like, no. He's like, what? What's the matter with? No, I'm sorry.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah. Not really.
You mind if I keep that?
She's like, not really.
Oh, Oscar,
No?
is this what you think they look like?
Anyways.
Is
God.
this what yours looks like?
No, I just can't see so good.
Anyways.
Weirdly enough, all the electricity that's been shot at me over the years, it's made me have terrible eyesight.
You can only see like a foot in front of him.
I have really good aim with a spear, though. My hearing's great. Running on fumes on everything else.
I'm sorry, chat. Snaga, this one's on you, okay? You did this.
It's true, you did do this.
Oh, God. All right, so you finish up and you're able to have that amount of success just looking over these books. But what's more important is that you can see that the books seem to be referencing other details, Josh, that you might be able to find in the other parts of the library. You're going to be able to continue the research and whatnot afterwards. The 2 of them, of course, wrote the letters. And Doxy, what else was it that your characters wanted to do?
We were going to the docks.
Going to the docks, that's right. So Doxy in the docks with Oscar, and you guys continuing your research, which will probably after they come back, after we come back, because it has been an hour and 15 minutes since we officially went live. So why don't we take a quick break and
Hey, we got to play for 15 minutes, guys.
We did it.
New record.